Well, there is a big astro event gonna take place in the year 2023. At this point in time, Rahu is in the Aries sign, and Rahu in the Aries sign will be there until 28th of November 2023. I mean, the true Rahu would be there in the Aries sign until 28th of November 2023. And in the month of January, the planet Saturn is gonna change its zodiac sign. It's gonna go into the Aquarius sign on the 17th of January 2023. So Rahu will be in the Aries sign and Saturn will be in the Aquarius sign, and they will be surrounding the Pisces sign at this point in time. The Pisces zodiac sign at this point in time. It is gonna form a Pap Kartari Yoga in the year 2023. Yes, this is the big event. This is the big astro event I'm gonna talk about in this video, where Rahu and Saturn will be surrounding the zodiac sign Pisces, the mean Rashi. So this particular astro event in the year 2023 is gonna be the highlight of the year. I mean, it is gonna be a major event in the year 2023. And wherever your Pisces sign is placed in your horoscope, I mean, out of the 12 houses, wherever your Pisces sign is placed, that house is gonna get affected in the year 2023. So you need to be careful and cautious regarding those areas of your life. I would be discussing all the moon signs in this video. I mean, I will be trying to analyze all the moon signs in this video and also the ascendants. I mean, I will be analyzing all the moon signs and ascendants in this video for y'all, keeping in mind the Pap Kartari Yoga, which is gonna take place in the year 2023. And I'm gonna tell you all what the impact would be for you in the year 2023 in regard to this Pap Kartari Yoga. I mean, Rahu and Saturn surrounding the Pisces sign. Well, Rahu is an illusion and Saturn is reality. Rahu is abstract and Saturn is real. Rahu is about indiscipline and Saturn is about discipline. Rahu is whimsical and Saturn is practical. I mean, practical and mature. So these two planets are gonna play a major role on the lives of human beings in the year 2023. Well, seeing the planetary positions and Rahu and Saturn forming a Pap Kartari Yoga, I wanna tell you all something today. I wanna tell you all that at this point in time, pray as if everything depends upon God and work as if everything depends upon you. You need to believe in miracles at this point in time. You need to work hard and believe in miracles at this point in time. And if you work hard at this point in time, you are gonna see miracles in your life. You are gonna see a drastic change in your financial position at this point in time. I mean, for the better. And you will see that your standard of your life will increase substantially. I mean, as you will improve financially, your standard of life, your standard of living, your materialistic things will increase in your life in the year 2023. So you need to make a conscious effort to work hard at this point in time, because Saturn represents hard work. It wants you to work hard. And as Saturn will be in its own sign, in its Mool Trikon sign, this particular Saturn will reward you for your hard work. This body which we've got from God is not to relax, not to chill, not to sleep, not to be lazy, not to procrastinate. But this body has been given to us by God to use it in this world for our benefit and for the society's benefit and to make a difference to this planet Earth. So you need to utilize your body at this point in time. You need to utilize your body, mind and soul at this point in time in the work which you are doing. Whether you are a businessman, whether you are doing a job, whether you are a student, whether you want to remain healthy, you need to utilize this body at this point in time. Well, let me tell you one thing, that if you work hard at this point in time, if you utilize your mind, body and soul at this point in time, you are gonna see miracles in your life. You need to believe in miracles at this point in time. Miracles are things which God does for you, through you, as you, and with you. You don't need to put yourself into a small cell at this point in time. That is in your mind. The doors of that cell in your mind aren't locked. You don't have to put yourself in that cell in your mind and think that the cell, the prison which is in your mind, is locked. The door to that cell is open and you can walk away to freedom. You just have to open the door and walk through. So don't suffocate yourself at this point in time. Don't imprison yourself at this point in time in your mind, because the mind is gonna play an important role at this point in time. When the Pap Kartari Yoga takes place in the year 2023. If you think you can and if you think you can't, you are right. You are right in both the situations. I'd also say that don't overthink at this point in time. A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think except thoughts. And that person loses touch with reality. He becomes impractical and he keeps thinking and thinking and thinking, and overthinking starts controlling his or her life. So you need to make a conscious, deliberate and a determined effort to work more and think less at this point in time. Be positive about the things which you want to do in your life at this point in time. As I told you, don't imprison yourself in that cell in your mind. Well, now let me start analyzing and telling you all about the moon signs and ascendants. Let me start with Aries moon sign, Aries ascendant people. The Pisces sign, which is gonna get affected by the Pap Kartari Yoga, that is by Rahu and Saturn, is your 12th house from your moon sign and ascendant. At this point in time, you would become spiritual. You would yearn to remain closer to God at this point in time, because you'd be facing certain problems in your life in regard to your health, in regard to your enemies, in regard to your job, in regard to some untoward incidents in your life. Whenever you go through something, you will always come closer to God. And hence I am telling you, take the help of God at this point in time when you go through a certain thing in your life. These predictions of mine are general predictions. I have to analyze the entire horoscope to see whether or not you will be affected by this Pap Kartari Yoga or not. Well, the Aries moon sign, Aries ascendant people may also get entangled in a court case at this point in time. They might lose a court case at this point in time. They might fall ill at this point in time. They might not be able to repay a debt at this point in time. And this may cause embarrassment to you and your family at this point in time. You may have to go away from your family at this point in time because of your problems. Well, for Taurus moon sign, Taurus ascendant people, the Pisces sign will be in the 11th house. That affected Pisces sign is in your 11th house. So at this point in time, your expenses will be more than your income. You will find it hard to meet your expenses at this point in time. Your expenses would shoot through the roof at this point in time. It will be difficult for you to maintain your lifestyle at this point in time. All your desires and wishes are gonna remain desires and wishes at this point in time. Your desires and wishes will not be fulfilled at this point in time. You could face some serious problems from your elder siblings, from your elder brothers and sisters, from your elder cousins at this point in time. Your gains and income would reduce substantially at this point in time. You wouldn't be able to meet your house expenses, your regular expenses comfortably at this point in time. But eventually, you will be able to overcome this situation in your life once this Pap Kartari Yoga ends. But nevertheless, you need to be strategic at this point in time. You need to focus on the long-term goals of your life at this point in time. You need to prioritize things at this point in time. You need to do things which are important in your life first. Don't bother about money at this point in time. Be willing to spend money at this point in time if you get physical or mental comfort by spending money. Don't become a miser at this point in time. Don't remain parsimonious at this point in time. If by spending money you are getting some sort of relief, some sort of mental relief, some sort of physical relief, then you must spend your money. Well, the next sign which I'm gonna speak about is the Gemini moon sign, the Gemini ascendant people. Your Pisces sign is in the 10th house. Rahu and Saturn are gonna surround that Pisces sign of the 10th house, and 10th house is a very important house. So at this point in time, you will feel a lot of discomfort in your work life. You will feel a lot of discomfort with your karmas, with your actions. You would be feeling uncomfortable at your workplace at this point in time. You would be feeling uncomfortable in your business at this point in time. You would be feeling uncomfortable in your profession at this point in time. You could be abruptly terminated from your job in the year 2023 when this Pap Kartari Yog takes place. There could be a fall of status for you in the society at this point in time. But make sure that your karmas are in sync with your moral values at this point in time. Try to be morally correct at this point in time. Try to be ethical at this point in time. Try to speak the truth at this point in time. Though in the short term, that truth might not be helpful to you, but in the medium to long term, you will see the effect of that truth in your life. I mean, the benefit and the advantage of that truth you speak during this time. Nothing can happen to that person who speaks the truth all the time. I mean, nothing terrible. In the end, truth will become victorious. So don't try to feign your reality at this point in time. People who are in high positions at this point in time, they may get affected at this point in time. Their reputation and image may get tarnished at this point in time. They may be given a demotion in their job at this point in time. They might be terminated of their positions at this point in time. So, their respect and dignity would take a setback at this point in time. The next sign which I'm gonna speak about is the Cancer moon sign and Cancer ascendant people. This Pisces sign is in your 9th house, either from your ascendant or from your moon sign. At this point in time, you might feel exasperated in your life. You might feel irritated in your life, in your relationships. I mean, that relationship with your father, your guru, your master. You could have some serious difference of opinion at this point in time with your bosses. You would find it difficult to make breakthroughs in your life at this point in time, to see light at the end of the tunnel at this point in time. It would be rather difficult for you to see success at this point in time. Any plan you implement at this point in time will not be fruitful. You'd have to wait until the year 2024 if you want to see success and prosperity in whatever you are doing at this point in time. So success will elude you at this point in time. Success would be far-fetched at this point in time. In spite of you taking 2 steps forward, you would see destiny throwing you back 3 steps backward. So, your destiny, your luck is not gonna support you at this point in time. But in spite of that, you must keep on going at this point in time. If you are planning to go abroad at this point in time, you should cancel your plans, because this trip of yours abroad wouldn't be a successful one. In fact, I'd say that it would be a waste of money, time and energy for you if you take this trip abroad in the year 2023 when this Pap Kartari Yog takes place. Well, again, if you want some peace of mind, if you want some tranquility in your life, You need to take the help of God at this point in time. You need to make your faith stronger at this point in time. You will have to have belief on God at this point in time. If you want some sort of solace in your life, well, the next sign which I'm going to speak about is the Leo moon sign, the Leo ascendant people. You know, the Pisces sign would be in the 8th house from your moon sign as well as your ascendant. So at this point in time, you could see some transformations in your life. You could see certain events in your life which will change your life completely. There could be a drastic change in your social life, in your family life at this point in time. You may not be able to convince your family at this point in time regarding the ideas and plans you have for them in your mind. They might not like that idea, that plan you have for them in your mind at this point in time. You would feel disgusted at this point in time with your family. You could also see turnarounds in your life at this point in time. Your life might change completely at this point in time. You need to be careful while driving or walking on the road at this point in time because there is a chance of a serious accident at this point in time. You could see some death and death-like situations in your life at this point in time. And you might feel trapped in that situation at this point in time. Stay away from vices at this point in time. Stay away from bad habits at this point in time. If you are taking alcohol, drugs, or you are smoking, you need to refrain yourself from all these things at this point in time. Don't try and get into any sort of illicit relationship at this point in time, which may tarnish your image in the society, especially with the opposite sex. Don't try to have any sort of illicit relationship with the opposite sex. Any sort of infidelity, any sort of extramarital relationship will cost you your family life at this point in time, and it may spoil your reputation in the society. Well, you may feel hopeless at this point in time. You may feel a sense of hopelessness at this point in time. You also need to take care of your elders at this point in time because their health may deteriorate at this point in time and you might have to incur a lot of expenses behind their health at this point in time. If you were supposed to get any sort of inheritance, you would see that you wouldn't get that inheritance at this point in time, which will add to your frustration. But as soon as the Papkartari Yoga ends, you will see that inheritance will come to you very easily. Well, for Virgo moon sign, Virgo ascendant people, this Pisces sign will be in the 7th house. So at this point in time, your business might get affected. Your relationships might get affected. Your spouse might get affected. I mean, in a negative sense. Your spouse's health might deteriorate at this point in time. You might have to end your partnerships at this point in time. You may have to stay away from your birthplace at this point in time. It might be so that you might have to go abroad at this point in time and stay there for about 1 year. I'd say that if you get this opportunity, you must go abroad. You must go to a foreign land and start working there. Don't go to a foreign land if you don't have any work there. But if you are gainfully employed, make an attempt to go there. This would be not an ideal time for you to get married. I mean in the year 2023. So if any Virgo moon sign, Virgo ascendant people are wanting to get married, they should stop themselves from getting married in the year 2023, as that marriage would not be an auspicious one for you. All sorts of problems will crop up in your marriage or your married life if you do that marriage at this point in time. Well, the next sign would be Libra moon sign, Libra ascendant people. This Pisces sign will be in your 6th house. So at this point in time, you might feel suffocated, you might feel depressed, you might feel lonely at this point in time. In spite of you having your relatives around you, your near and dear ones around you, you will feel lonely at this point in time. You will feel that there is no one for you in this world. There is no one in this world who you can talk to at this point in time. Your relatives, your near or dear ones, your siblings might not give you the importance you deserve from them, and hence this may leave you disappointed in your life at this point in time. You could have some hidden enemies at this point in time who could ruin your life at this point in time. Don't try and take a debt at this point in time, because you might not be able to repay that debt in your life. Don't criticize others at this point in time for your failures and disappointments. Take responsibility for your failures and disappointments at this point in time. If you don't acknowledge your fears at this point in time, you might not be able to move forward in your life in the future. You might not like your relationships at this point in time, as your relations with your near or dear ones will turn bitter and sour at this point in time. The work which you do at this point in time will not produce fruitful results for you. It might produce some fruitful results in the year 2024, but in the year 2023, you will remain disheartened because you wouldn't see success at this point in time. You could see some illnesses, some sickness. You could witness some physical trauma, physical agony at this point in time. Well, for Scorpio moon sign, Scorpio ascendant people, this Pisces sign will be in your 5th house. So at this point in time, your creativity would take a back seat. You wouldn't be able to find some creative work in your life at this point in time. Though you would feel like doing some creative work at this point in time, but you wouldn't get one at this point in time. And even if you get one, you will not get the appreciation from the people around you for that creative work which you do. Your children might be a source of irritation, a source of exasperation for you at this point in time. And for those people who are gambling in the stock market, they should be very careful at this point in time. I am talking about the Scorpio moon sign, Scorpio ascendant people. If you are in the stock market or gambling, you should be very careful, because there is a strong chance of you losing a lot of money in gambling and stock market activities at this point in time. Don't invest any sort of money in the stock market or use money to gamble. You may find it difficult to stay morally correct at this point in time. You might not feel the need to be ethical at this point in time. There could be a major reduction in your wealth at this point in time. You could face some serious problems regarding stomach, regarding kidneys, regarding your lower back at this point in time. So you need to take care of yourself regarding all these areas of your body at this point in time. Well, for Sagittarius moon sign, Sagittarius ascendant people, you'll see your Pisces sign in your 4th house. So at this point in time, your mother may not support you in your activities at this point in time. She may not approve of your social and career related activities at this point in time. She might not agree with you at this point in time, which will lead you to frustration at this point in time. Your mother's health may also get affected at this point in time because of you. You could also have a change of residence at this point in time. People who are wanting to start a factory in their life, who are wanting to go into manufacturing, they should stop themselves from commissioning that factory. Don't try to buy or sell any kind of real estate at this point in time, because that deal might not be auspicious for you and your family at this point in time. You could feel sad and despondent at this point in time. You may miss the luxury and comfort you were used to at this point in time. You might also have to stay away from your mother, from your motherland at this point in time. I mean, you could go abroad for a certain period of time during this Pap Kartari Yoga. Well, for Capricorn moon sign people, let me tell you, the Pisces sign will be in your 3rd house. So you would remain fearful in your life at this point in time. You wouldn't have the courage to move forward in your life at this point in time. You would postpone your decisions, your important decisions in your life at this point in time. because you wouldn't be feeling confident about them at this point in time. I mean, in implementing them at this point in time. Your ideas and plans will not be implemented in the year 2023. And even if you try to implement them, they wouldn't be a success in the year 2023. You might be worried and anxious about your younger brothers and sisters at this point in time. You could face some problems because of them at this point in time. You should remain very discreet at this point in time. You should use your speech, your words carefully at this point in time, because you would tend to become very harsh at this point in time. You would tend to get angry at this point in time. You would tend to get bitter at this point in time, and hence it might spoil your relationships with your near or dear ones, with your bosses, with your spouse, with your children at this point in time. Well, for Aquarius moon sign, Aquarius ascendant people, the Pisces sign would be in the second house. So at this point in time, your wealth might dwindle in your life. I mean, there could be a substantial reduction in your wealth at this point in time. Your family members might not support you at this point in time. They might be very critical of you at this point in time. They might not like your behaviors and habits at this point in time. You would feel despondent and hopeless in your work at this point in time. In regard to your health, things might get from bad to worse because of your vices. So if you have any sort of bad habits in your life, you need to stop them immediately in the year 2023, as it may spoil your health to a large extent. You could also see some eye problems in the year 2023. And if you see any sort of eye problem in the year 2023, you need to give special attention to it. You might not be too interested in the worldly matters at this point in time. You might not be interested in the materialistic things at this point in time. All you would be bothered about, all you would yearn for, all you would want is your family and your near or dear ones, your relatives at this point in time. Because in the company of your family, you would be feeling better emotionally, mentally and spiritually. Well, for Pisces moon sign, Pisces ascendant people, this sign is in your ascendant. This sign is your first house. So you are gonna get affected at this point in time. Your health is gonna get affected at this point in time. Your personality is gonna get affected at this point in time. It is gonna negatively affect all these areas of your life. This Pisces sign getting trapped by Rahu and Saturn on either sides will have a negative impact on the first house of your horoscope or your moon sign. Your reputation, your respect in the society would take a toll. You would find it difficult to think beyond a certain point at this point in time. You might not be able to think strategic at this point in time. You might not be able to think long term at this point in time. Hence, you wouldn't be able to act in the right way at this point in time. Though you would want to do many things in your life, but you wouldn't be able to implement your ideas and plans at this point in time. In spite of your efforts, in spite of your hard work, you wouldn't be getting enough good results for yourself and for your family at this point in time. All sorts of wrong ideas and plans will come into your mind at this point in time. I'd say that if you aren't comfortable making decisions at this point in time, you should consult your elders or your spouse at this point in time and then only move forward with your life. You could have some serious fights with your family and friends at this point in time. Hence, you should refrain yourself from talking too much in the year 2023. Well, that phrase, silence is golden, is appropriate for you and your life for the year 2023. So remember, silence is golden. Well, this is all I wanted to tell you all about the Paap Kartari Yoga and my analysis about all the moon signs and ascendants. If you want some specific predictions about yourself, then you may contact me directly. Well, like I always say, that if you wish to know your future through astrology and you are determined to live the best possible version of yourself, Well, one must always try to live his or her best version of themselves because there is only one life to live. There are no duplicates of a life. You will not get a chance to live this beautiful life once again. And if you want to enhance your luck in your life, if you want to boost your luck in your life, if you want to increase and improve your luck in your life, then I want to tell you all, I have several remedies for you. You know, these remedies which I'm talking about are a fusion of astrological remedies, Vastu remedies and religious remedies which can be utilized by any person of any religion. And if you want me to pray for you, because prayer can move mountains. So if you want me to pray for you, then I can pray for your health, wealth, success, money, business, career, job, relationships, love relationships, education, marriage, married life, children, property, etc., etc., etc. And you may also contact me if you want a Vastu visit of your flat, office, residence or factory. And if you are hell-bent on taking your life from the ridiculous to the sublime, from the low point to the high point, from nothing to something, then you may contact me over WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number has been given on this video. Have a great day and a great life ahead. God bless you all. Jai Mata Di. Jai Ma Kali.